Let's start by, on the inhale, turning our head to the right. Exhale, center. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. And a few rounds on your own, making sure your spine is long, coming out of your pelvis, balanced on top of your pelvis, your head on top, not leaning forward, not leaning back. And coming to center, let's then tip chin to chest. And bringing it up, chin to sky, looking up towards the sky. Back to center, chin to chest. Inhale on the upswing, chin to sky. And a couple more rounds, chin to chest and chin to sky. Inhaling on the upswing, exhaling on the downswing. And then coming to a neutral position. Let's take the arms and bring them up, up, up overhead. Seated Urdhva Hastasana, fingertips to sky, arms nice and long and strong with your biceps towards your ears, but shoulders down, not scrunched up near your ears, shoulders down, and that will take some conscious effort to make that happen because it's not our inclination. And then bringing the elbows down and hands to angel wings, so arms in a 90-degree angle position. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening the chest. Inhale up. Exhale, angel wings. Maybe put a smile on your face. Feels like the right place to do that. Inhale up. Exhale down. And one more time, inhale up. Exhale down. Actually, no, I fibbed. Inhale up one more time. But we won't do the angel wings this time. We'll clasp our hands up at the top, flip the palms to the sky with the fingers interlaced, and bring the interlaced palms to sky, biceps to ears, shoulders down. And let it go. Clasping the hands now behind the back to open up the chest, open across the collarbones, keep the arms straight and strong just for a moment and enjoy the feeling of the strength of your shoulder blades and the openness across the chest. That feels so good. Now let's take the clasped hands and bring them to your left hip. And you can stay here, or if you'd like, you can tip your left ear to left shoulder to give a little stretch to the right side of your neck. If your legs are tense like mine are, try to relax them into the ground. And breathe. And head and arms back to center, arms behind you, arms nice and long and strong. Now to the other side, right hip, and if you'd like, right ear to right shoulder. Trying to stay conscious of keeping your spine straight up on top of your pelvis. Breathing into that stretch in the side of your neck. Come back to center. Let's do it one more time on either side. So left hip, palms, hands to left hip. And if you'd like, left ear to left shoulder. Breathe and relax. Move to center and right hip, right ear to shoulder. And bring it to center. Very good. You can shake out those arms. Let's drop the right hand beside, slightly behind us, to the ground on the right side. Take the right arm up and over, really reaching from left sitting bone all the way up through the side of your body, up and over with strength. We don't want to phone it in. We want to, bring some energy to it, reaching out those fingertips. And left hand to the ground beside your left sitting bone, just slightly behind. Right arm up and over, really reaching from sitting bone through the side. You'll feel the stretch in your shoulder blade, right shoulder blade. Up and over, making sure you're breathing. And palm back down to the ground. Let's take the right palm now and put it a little bit more behind you. So it's sort of mostly behind your right glute. And get nice and long in the spine, crown to the sky, pull up on the inhale. And then as you exhale, taking the left hand and putting it on top of your right lower thigh, just above your right knee as leverage. And inhale, lengthen up through the spine. And exhale and twist to the right, looking over your right shoulder, or, in that general direction as is comfy and accessible for you. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. One more time. Inhale, nice and long in the spine, and exhale, twist. Passing back through center. Taking the left hand, putting it behind your left sitting bone. Right hand, putting your fingers just above your left knee. Pulling up nice and long through the spine, imagining that string at the crown of your head on the inhale. And exhale, twisting to the left. Elongate on the inhale. Exhale and twist. I love a good twist towards the beginning of the practice. It gets the spine moving. We're not used to it doing that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And coming back to center. Let's, for fun, take our hands, lift them up and rotate the wrists around in one direction and the other direction. Just for fun, we don't want to neglect them either. Get our arms and wrists moving. And slowing that down and then coming into hero's pose. So in hero's pose, we sit on top of our shins with our sitting bones on top of the heels. Ideally, we're looking to have our spine coming out from our pelvic area, not leaning back, not leaning forward, but nicely sitting on top, the head over top of the hips. If you need to, and if you want to, if it's a little too much on the knees and the legs and the ankles, you can always move it forward a little bit. Or if you do have a pillow handy, you can stick the pillow under your glutes, and that's okay too. While we're hanging out here in hero's pose, let's do some eagle arms. So we'll take the right arm and bring the right elbow at our solar plexus, so right in the middle of our chest. Fingertips to sky, so the arm's at 90 degrees. Let's take the left arm underneath and then wrap it around so that left fingertips are in contact with right palm. And you can hang out here, or if you'd like to lift the arms up, get a little stretch in the shoulders, maybe slightly back bend as you're doing that. And then exhale and crunch it in, getting a bit of a rounding of the spine. Inhale up, exhale, crunch. Inhale up, exhale, crunch. Come to a neutral spine and then switch the arms out. So left elbow in front of the chest, in the center of the chest, fingertips pointing to sky. Right arm goes underneath, supporting left arm, wraps around, touching fingertips of right to palm of left. And either hanging out here or lifting on the inhale and exhaling on the crunch. Lift and crunch. And one more, lift and crunch. And coming back to neutral, lowering the hands. We're now going to go to a kneeling position, and we're going to do some camel prep. So we'll start off in a kneeling position, engaging the abs, lifting up through the chest, taking our hands, putting them into fists at the small of your back on either side, lifting up through the chest and leaning back, making sure we're pulling up as we lean back. We don't want to compress our lower spine too much. And if you'd like and it's comfortable, you can tilt your head back. If you don't like the way that feels, you can always just look straight ahead, and that's okay too. And now coming up, knees mat width apart, toes together, glutes on top of heels, and we'll move into child's pose. So arms straight and long in front, fingertips towards the front of the mat, making sure your heels are close to your glutes. Just taking a bit of a rest. Let's bring it back up into a kneeling position. And we have a few options here. So we can do the same, open up across the chest, lifting up from the chest and the collarbone area, bringing the palms, the hands into fists in either side of the small of your back, and leaning back either with head back or head tipped forward. And if you like, from here, you can tuck your toes and reach back for your heels. This is a modified camel pose. Again, head back or looking straight ahead. And if you'd like a little more, you can put tops of the feet to your mat and do full camel. And then lifting up with control out of the pose back into a kneeling. Separating the knees, bringing the toes back together. Child's pose. Excuse me. Now let's move forward towards the top of our mat and lay down on our belly. From there, let's place our elbows underneath our shoulders, fingertips towards the top of the mat, spread, and forearms straight out from our elbows. Lifting up from our chest, broadening across the shoulders and broadening across the collarbones, and placing your gaze just at the top of your mat between your hands. And we do this to make sure that the neck is in a good, safe position for Sphinx pose. And breathing as we're in Sphinx, really lifting up through our chest, up into our collarbones and broad across. Now we can slide the right hand just a little bit forward. Take our left hand, flip the palm to sky, and take the left arm across our chest, keeping that palm to sky, putting the arm underneath our armpit, threading it through, and then laying it all down. Thread the needle. Nice stretch in the shoulder and shoulder blade, and feels really good. Keeps things loose and healthy, not constricted. breathing, and our gaze will be towards the right. Let's come back up, putting our elbows underneath our shoulders, fingers spread again towards the top of the mat, our gaze in between our hands, back into Sphinx pose. Being mindful to open up across our chest and lift up through the chest. Now on the other side, let's slide the left hand forward a little bit. Take the right palm, flip it over so it's palm to sky. And then take that right arm, put it across our chest, threading it underneath the left underarm and laying everything down. And you'll probably feel comfortable bringing your left arm forward a little bit. And really just relaxing into thread the needle. And if there's any areas of tightness or discomfort, trying to breathe and soften into it. Always being aware to not push yourself too much. So we don't want to feel pain, but nice stretch, challenging stretch is great. And now let's push up into tabletop. And let's start by doing some cat and cow. I'm a big fan of cat and cow. I love getting the movement in our spine that we don't normally do. So it'll be, make sure, we're starting out making sure knees are under hips and palms, wrists are under elbows. No, not under elbows. Well, yes, under elbows, but under shoulders. Okay. And let's start by dropping the belly, lifting the tail, and lifting the head. Cow pose. Pushing into the hands, rounding the spine, really pushing through so that your shoulders and shoulder blades get a nice stretch. Cat. Bringing it down to cow, dropping that belly, lifting head and tail. On the exhale, pushing into cat. Really pushing into the palms. That helps give you that nice stretch in the shoulders and the upper back. And one more time, drop the belly, cow. Exhale, cat. And back to neutral. Let's do some lateral spinal stretches. So taking the right shoulder and right hip and bringing them together. Not all the way together, of course, that would be very strange, but bringing them in the same direction. So you're making a C with your body, pushing into your hands to keep the integrity of the pose. And passing back through center. Let's bring left hip and left shoulder together, pushing into the hands, looking at over your left shoulder, coming through center and right. And if you want to try and time your breathing with it, you can. Inhale, exhale as you pass through center. Inhale, left. And one more time on each side for good measure. Coming back to a neutral tabletop position. Let's take the right shin and bring it out towards the edge of our mat, about a 45-degree angle out. Putting our weight into our right palm and rolling the left foot so it's parallel to the back of your mat. And lifting your pelvis forward. We don't want to be sticking our butt out, but getting our pelvis in line with our body. Lifting the left fingertips to sky. You can either look straight ahead or look down at the floor. So I find when I'm new at this or if I'm having an off day, looking down is good. It provides me with more stability, but you can look straight out in front. And if you want to stay here, you can. If you'd like to engage your abs, making sure you're nice and stable in your right hand, and then lift left leg up so it's parallel to the floor. You can hang out here if you want to bend the left knee and capture your left foot with your hand. That's an option too. It gives you a little bit of a chest opening back bend, very gentle. Releasing the foot, bringing palm, fingertips to sky, and back to tabletop. Now on the other side, we'll bring the left calf, so it's 45 degrees to the left. And then placing right foot parallel to the bottom of your mat, feeling stable in the left hand, bringing right fingertips to sky, feeling nice and broad across the chest. Staying here or engaging the abs, lifting that right leg so that it's parallel to the floor. And then hanging out here or bending right leg and capturing right foot with right hand. Opening up across the chest. Enjoying that slight back bend, feeling nice and stable in your left hand. Releasing the foot, fingertips to sky. And back to a tabletop position. And with our knees under our hips, let's walk our palms up towards the top of the mat and lower our chest downwards, opening up the underarm area, feeling the strength of our back and shoulder blades. Making sure our hips and knees are aligned. So if you need to adjust a little, you can. This is puppy dog pose. Keeping the hands nice and open, fingertips nice and open and spread. And then coming back up to tabletop, let's bring the right foot forward in between the hands, toes to sky. Keeping the leg nice and long. I mean, if you need to bend it, you absolutely can, but we're trying to straighten the leg or have a micro bend in the leg. And squaring the hips to the front of the mat. Half Hanuman. We can stay here, or if you'd like to lengthen through the spine, and on the exhale, lower down over the leg. Breathe, 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 breathe. Leading with the heart, coming back up, and then rolling through the right leg, placing your right foot on the ground. Then bringing arms up, overhead into a high prayer crescent lunge. We can grab the left forearm with the right hand if you'd like, and if you feel stable, and tilt to the right. Coming back to high prayer. Grabbing right forearm with left hand and tilting to the left. This challenges our balance a little bit and gives us a nice side stretch. Coming back to center. Framing the foot with the hands. Tucking the back toe, going to a low lunge. Feeling stable in our feet. And then coming up, you can put your hands on your right thigh, or you can bring arms up to high prayer for high lunge. Now placing your hands back on your front thigh for stability, hop the left foot forward just a little bit and keep the foot at a sort of a 90-degree angle so it's pointing generally towards the upper left corner. Square your hips to the front of the mat, have a bend in your knee so that your knee is stacked over your ankle. Make sure you can see your right toe. If you can't, push your knee slightly to the side so you can. And bring your hands up to high prayer for warrior one. Now taking the right foot, the left foot, and bringing your back foot and putting it parallel to the back of your mat. Keeping your right knee over right ankle. And you can adjust a little bit. Your right heel should be in line with your left arch. Keeping that knee bent, making sure you can see right big toe. Bring your arms out to a T. Making sure your shoulders are down and away from your ears. You're nice and broad across the collarbones, and that your arms are level. So not down, not up, nice and level, like they're coming straight out of your shoulders. And looking over your right fingertips, warrior two. Now, bringing your right foot, pivoting it so the feet are parallel and pointing to the side of your mat. Let's feel nice and long in our torso. Bring the arms up to a high prayer, keeping the shoulders down, star position. Making sure the pelvis is not tilted back. We don't want our butt sticking out. We want our pelvis rotated towards the front. Keep everything in one line. And then bringing the hands to heart center, stepping the feet together. We're going to try some balance poses. You can, if you feel better being near a wall, so you can reach out and touch something if you need to, that's great. But let's start by placing our weight into our left leg and foot, making sure you can feel all the four corners of your foot. So from ball of feet to the heel, firmly on the mat and toes spread. And then lifting your knee up so that your thigh is parallel to the floor and your shin is at a 90-degree angle with the heel towards the floor. You can stay here, or you can bring the leg to the right. And if you want to cheat a little bit, I'm not going to tell anybody, you can hold your leg with your right hand. Or not, as you prefer. You can also hold the wall if you need to, that's totally okay. And bring it back to center. Let's try it on the other side. So weight into the right leg and foot, feeling the foot really stable and secure, toes spread. Hands at heart center or hand on a wall if you'd prefer. Lifting that left knee up, left thigh parallel to the floor, heel to the ground. And then taking the leg, if you like, and bringing it to the side. It helps to keep a focal point on the ground that's not going to move. Don't pick something that's going to move. That would be very distracting. Bring it back to center. And feet on the ground. Let's step the right foot forward pointing towards the top of your mat. Heel in line with left arch, warrior two. Shoulders down, arms out into a T. Let's straighten the front leg, drop the left hand, and bring the right arm overhead, reaching slightly back behind us. Reverse triangle pose. Tip it back to warrior two, knee bent. Make sure you can see your right toe. And then windmill the hands to frame the face, low lunge, not the face, the foot. Low lunge. And back to tabletop. Good stuff. Let's do the other side. Let's bring the left leg forward, left heel towards the front of the mat, legs straight or mostly straight. We don't want to lock the knee joint. And you can stay here with your toes pointing towards the sky, or if you'd like, you can elongate your spine, bringing your chest forward towards the top of the mat, and on the exhale, lower down over the leg. Breathing into the stretch in the back of your leg. Leading with the heart, coming back up. Rolling forward through and onto the left foot. Bringing arms up to a high prayer. Shoulders down, arms long and strong. Let's do an angel wing while we're here. Open up the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Put a smile on the face. Enjoying the strength of your back. And palms or hands to high prayer. Let's frame the foot. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, and then put hands on lower thigh for high lunge, or you can bring hands to high prayer. Bringing hands back onto that lower thigh for stability. Let's hop that right foot forward a little bit so it's pointing off to the side. Squaring your hips to the front of the mat. Placing left knee over left heel. Making sure we can see left big toe. Hands to high prayer. Chest nice and open. Arms nice and long and strong. Fingertips pointing to sky. Warrior 2. Pardon me, Warrior 1. We're going to go to Warrior 2. I gave the surprise away. Let's pivot the right foot. Right foot's parallel to back of the mat. Making sure left heel and right arch are in line. Bending left knee over left heel. Making sure we can see left big toe. Arms into a T, nice and broad across the chest, shoulders down. Looking over left fingertips. Breathing. Now pivoting that left heel so that left and right foot are pointing in the same direction towards the right side of the mat. I'm going to switch around so you can see me better. And then we're going to bring our feet closer together. Near a wall if you feel better doing so. Let's try another balance pose, which is going to be tree pose. So putting the weight into right leg and foot, left leg and foot like we did the last time. Spread the toes for a nice stable base. You can take your right toes, place them on the mat beside your left foot with your heel of your right foot just on your lower left leg. So your toes are still touching the mat. If you're feeling good here, you can move the right foot up the leg, anywhere on the leg, on the calf, on the thigh. You can hold on to the wall if you'd like to, but not on the knee. We don't want to stress the knee joint. Focus on a point that's not going to move on the floor in front of you, and really focus on the point between your foot and your leg, making sure it's nice and strong. You can keep your hands at heart center. You can hold the wall if you'd like to. You can put your arms above you like a tree. You can do jazz hands because that's fun. And then bring that foot down. Let's put our weight into our right foot now, feeling the stability all across our foot. Keeping the left toes on the floor, ball the foot on the floor with the left heel on your ankle, and moving up the leg as you feel good. Whew, I'm tippy today. That's okay, that's life, sometimes it happens. There we go. Nice and stable contact point between foot and leg. Arms out if you'd like. I find sometimes arms out helps with stability too, actually. Staying broad across the chest, crown to sky. And then back with control. I'm going to turn back as I was before we did tree. So legs, feet apart, toes pointing towards the right side of your mat. Back into star pose, so high prayer hands. Pivot the left toes to the front of the mat, left heel in line with right arch. You can always shift around if you need to adjust for alignment. Going into warrior 2, so left knee over left ankle, arms in a T looking over the left fingertips. Straighten the left leg, drop the right arm, bring the left arm up and over, slight back bend, reverse triangle. Back to warrior 2. Nice and broad across the chest. Nice and strong in the legs and arms. Then frame the foot with your hands. We're in a low lunge. And back to tabletop. Now from tabletop, let's walk our hands forward just a little bit and take our right foot and place it right beside, on the outer side of our right hand. Lizard pose. You can stay here, or if you'd like a little more, you can drop forearms to mat, so you're resting on your elbows. If you'd still like a little more, you can tuck your back toes and lift your back leg and relax the neck down. So if you're here, you're going to feel your legs working, your abs engaged. Probably your triceps are doing a little something too. Breathe as you're in this pose. We don't want to hold our breath. Drop the knee down if you lifted the knee. Come back onto your hands, so your right hand is beside your right foot. Your left hand is beside there too. If you want, you can bend your left heel towards your glute and reach back with your right hand, thumb pointing upward, to capture the left foot. And if this feels intense for you, you can lean back a little bit to take the pressure off of the left front quad, or if you want a little bit more, you can lean forward. You can just play with that a little bit and see what feels good today. Breathing as you do. Then let that back foot go. And come back to tabletop. Let's walk the hands forward again. Stepping left foot forward this time, left foot beside left hand. And stay here or drop down to the elbows. Stay here or tuck your back toes, lift your back leg. And feel the strength of your body in lizard pose. Breathing into the pose, don't hold your breath. Deliberately breathing in the pose also makes things just a little more relaxed too, which is nice. It doesn't feel so... Let's drop that back knee, come back onto the hands. If you'd like, you can bend that back leg so that the foot comes near your glute, and then grab your right foot with your left hand. And give yourself a little quad stretch. Or a lot of a quad stretch, depending on how you're feeling today. Dropping that back foot, coming back to tabletop, and then coming on to a seat. Then placing your feet on the mat with your knees pointed towards the sky. We're going to take our hands and place them underneath our shoulders, so our palms underneath our shoulders, fingertips pointing towards the top of the mat. And then lifting up our hips, relaxing our neck back or looking forward if that feels better for your neck. We're in reverse tabletop. Keeping the hips nice and lifted. If you feel good here, hang out here. If you'd like to try something a little different, you can lengthen each leg, placing heel on the ground, and then point your toes towards the front of the mat for a reverse plank. And then lower everything down. Well, sitting up, lowering your butt to the ground and your legs to the ground. Now, leaving your right leg extended, let's bring the left foot into inner right thigh. And this is Janu. Sitting up nice and tall in the pose. Nice and broad across the chest, squaring chest to front of the mat, just to help us with our posture. You can stay here if you like, or if you'd like more of a stretch, you can hinge at the hips and come over the leg. You might come over a little, you might come over a lot. Either is great. Try to keep the leg as long and straight as possible with a bit of a micro bend in the knee. We don't want to lock the joint. In general, in yoga, well, there's always some exceptions. We never really like to lock the joint. Micro bend is the way to go. Then leading with the heart, coming back up. And switching legs. So left leg out in front, right foot to left inner thigh. Adjusting if you little need to make sure you can feel your sitting bones. Feel the rootedness of the pose. Sitting up nice and long and tall, crown to sky. Collarbones open. You can inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, come over if you feel like it, and that feels good. A little or a lot over your leg. Reaching for any point on your leg, so it could be upper thigh, it could be your calves, it could be your foot, wherever you are today is great. And then leading with your heart, coming back up. Let's separate the feet nice and wide, making sure we're rooted into our sitting bones, bringing crown to sky, spine nice and long, hinging at your hips and coming forward. And when you come forward, you can come forward onto your hands or forearms, lengthening out through your spine, or you can come a little further if you'd like. And when you've lengthened out your spine, you can now relax into the pose. You can relax your head. If it helps you can bring your feet in a little bit more or bring them out a little bit more to adjust the pose. Your feet should be flexed, pointing towards the sky. And breathing. And leading with your heart, coming back up. Let's now come back onto our back. Feet on the ground, knees pointing towards the sky. Now, bring your knees in towards your chest in a bit of a hug. If you want, you can rock back and forth a little bit, show yourself a little bit of caring and love. Everyone can use a hug now and again. And then gently coming to a stop, if you were rocking back and forth, let's take our knees and bring them towards the right. Laying both knees and legs on the floor to the right in a bit of a gentle twist. You can bring your arms to goalposts or bring them out to a T. You can also have the left arm extended into a half T and just gently rest your right hand on top of your knees if you like. And in this pose, we want to keep our shoulders on the mat and relax into the pose. If it's more comfortable, you can adjust your knees up and down to a level that's comfortable for you. And just relax here for a second. Coming back to center. Guess what? We're going to bring our knees to the left. There aren't a lot of surprises in yoga that way. What you do on one side, you kind of have to do on the left. It would be surprising not to. Arms into a T, goalposts or half T. Breathing as you relax into this pose. Feeling your back on the mat, your upper back. Bringing the knees to center, Let's lengthen out the arms, lengthen out the legs. So arms reaching back, legs, toes elongating, toes pointing down. Morning stretch, reach. And then let's relax it down into Shavasana. So in Shavasana, our arms are alongside our body, palms facing up, shoulders away from ears, shoulder blades slightly together to open up the chest. Face relaxed, eyes closed. Tongue on the roof of your mouth just behind your top teeth in the middle. Relax your hips. Relax your belly and arms. Relax your thighs and your shins and your feet as they're gently parted. And maybe this would be a nice opportunity to thank yourself for coming today and doing something positive and healthy for yourself and your body. And taking a moment to thank your body for carrying you through this practice and hopefully amazing you a little bit with what it could do. And with that, let's bring our feet to the mat, knees to the sky, rolling over to one side. And pushing up to a seated position.